Hello everybody and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name is Beth and today I'll be telling you the long-awaited story time of how I got into digital art. But before we jump right in, let's talk about the art on screen. So today's art might be a speed paint, maybe not, because it's actually digital art. Hello! Hello everybody, Editing Myth here, and I just want to say that today's video doesn't have a speed paint. It's actually a traditional drawing that I just put on the screen for you to see. This is because this is traditional art and I don't necessarily have a camera or a setup to be able to film traditional art. But yeah, if you would like to see that, then I am working towards that, and we have a coffee in the description down below that you can check out. Anyways, have fun with the rest of the video. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I know that this is kind of ironic since I'm talking about my digital art, but I was just so excited about this piece and I wanted to post it everywhere. So because I have it right in front of me, I'm gonna describe it to you. It's actually a draw this in your style for Yumio's doodles, and they have like this little sun and moon character that's surrounded by a bunch of flowers, and I really liked it, so I just drew it in my style. The whole piece can be seen on the screen. I will link the original draw this in your style post in the description down below. Anyways, enough bubbling about the art, let's get into the story of today's video. Once upon a time, I was into a video game called Animal Jam, which y'all may or may not know. I started being interested in it right around its prime, so in 2016 to 2017. Back then, there used to be an incredibly active online community of animal jammers here on YouTube. I even participated in it for a little while by making my own YouTube videos, which I have since scrubbed from the internet. They were simply just too embarrassing to be kept online. So, the Animal Jam community was divided into different sections. The most notable one for us is the art community, which my artistic little self gravitated towards. Now, there were other communities such as the Animal Jam music video community, and even like a parody community at some point. Anyways, in the Animal Jam art community, I found Senpai. Well, that's not their name, it was something else actually. However, in the interest of not exposing this person, who seems to have pretty much left the internet, we're just gonna call them Senpai. So, Senpai made these amazing just drawings. No, they were masterpieces to be honest, of the animals of plenty of famous and not so famous Animal Jam YouTubers. And when I tell you, those drawings were the peak of art in my little Animal Jam obsessed brain. So Senpai had a very distinct style that was very colorful and sparkly and generally full of life. The shading was simple, like it was just like normal cell shading, but it was like so detailed. And they also put something that a lot of artists don't put, they also put lighting in their work. So most artists just have like the base and they shade it and then they call it a day. But they also put like nice yellow highlights that were like always on point. And the part that most stood out about the pieces were actually the eyes. They were just so well drawn. You could just look into that, I don't know, wolf's eyes forever. So for these reasons, back in the ye olde days, Senpai was actually extremely popular in the Animal Jam community. Even if, as I said before, they now seem to have completely dropped off of the face of social media. Just like the rest of the community. Now, you might be wondering, well, what does this have to do with me starting digital art? If you're smart, you might have already guessed it. Back in the day, Senpai offered commissions for $50. That's right, you could get a fully blown masterpiece that probably took them 8 to 10 hours for $50 freaking dollars. Add to that the fact that Senpai was also incredibly popular, and that price is way too cheap, like incredibly cheap. But little old me thought that $50 were too expensive, which, let's be honest, that's still out of my budget for a piece of art, but the price was a steal for the quality we're getting. So, I came up with a plan. I was like, hey, I'm an artist, even if I'm not as good as Senpai. I'm just gonna make my own commission. For free. You know, cause I could. Definitely. Like, my skills were for sure, absolutely, at the same, like, level of Senpai's. So that's kind of how my obsession began. And I figured that firstly, I had to gather all of the necessary materials, which had to be exactly like the ones Senpai used. This is because I thought that in order to reproduce the same quality of artwork, I needed the exact same art program. Now I know this is completely false. I actually needed better anatomy and shading skills. Anyhow, I told my dad about the art program that I needed, which was Paint to SI, because that's what Senpai used. And after my dad found out it was like 45 euros, he decided it could download it somewhere else for free, if you know what I mean. Let me say this one more time. 45 euros of a one-time fee for an art program that is as good as Painter's Sai is a steal. That's a good price. Especially considering Photoshop is like, what, 25 euros a month? I think. That's like the real rip-off here, people. Anyways, it seems like being incredibly cheap just runs in my family. Back to our story now. I obtained my free Painter's Sai and got to drawing. I drew animals and tried to emulate Senpai's style and quality. I don't think I got anywhere close to it. Far from it, to be honest. Because I was just drawing so much and I was just obsessed with trying to be like Senpai, this got me into digital art. Frankly, digital art soon became an obsession, which continued until this day. This is where the irony of the video comes in, because the art on screen is traditional. Get it? Everybody laugh now. As you can see by my most recent art, I don't really draw animals anymore, but I do draw a lot on the computer. All of this because I didn't want to pay $50 for a piece. Maybe if I was richer, y'all wouldn't be getting this incredible art in the background. Did y'all think about that, huh? In conclusion, foxes, I got into digital art mainly out of spite, and kept at it out of passion, which, yeah, sums up my life pretty much. I can't really think of a conclusion, or rather, more of a moral for this story, other than I should probably pay for my art programs, since the Painter's Sai files of my earliest drawings got corrupted, and I can't access them anymore. However, I do have, like, the PNGs or JPEGs of them, which we can make, like, a little tour. Anyways, rest in peace, 5-year-old crappy wolf drawing that young myth made. I'm sure it will be missed. An NFT in the making, if you will. This has been a story, ? So if you liked it, drop a like down below, as well as subscribe, because I post every single week with more art-related content. We have story times, we have tips and tricks, and speed paints, I guess? Well, not today. I'd like to know how you got into digital art, if you're into it, by the way. So comment down below with that information, as well as any recommendations you might have for me. And you can also find my art on Instagram and Pinterest, both of which are linked down below. Hell yeah! Also, for the Instagram, I post literally the process of like every single piece on my Instagram stories. If you want to see the magic, happen in real time, you should follow me on Instagram. And you can also check out my Ko-fi, which might help me, I don't know, upgrade the channel a little bit. Bye, foxes!